You will sate my hunger!
Hey guys, Midnight here, and today I'm back with some word bearers action, but we are not setting up any cool combos, we are just going straight for the face. Yep, we are playing some aggro. I'm not a great aggro player, but it's part of the game, it's part of the healthy meta, and I got a really effective aggro deck for you today. We are playing Argentall. Okay, joke, we're not playing Argentall, we are playing his transformed version, Raum, Unleashed Demon. In case you didn't know, you can't collect Raum. He doesn't appear in chests or in the shop. You can only collect Argentall, and you have to start your deck as Argentall, but his gimmick is if you include 15 Chaos cards in your deck, you can start as Raum. Why this weird condition? Well, because Raum itself is insane. He's probably the strongest baseline hero there is in untransformed forms like Reckoning Angron or whatever, Whispers Angron I mean. He's unstoppable, he grows frontline, he has high initiative, 3 attack, 30 health, and his battle honor heals him for 2, so if you kill something, he replenishes the health. This makes him an really good early game warlord. He can control the enemy board quite efficiently, and yeah, he also is a great face basher, which is part of the deal here. So if you see, we have 15 cards here included, I think, 13 Wordbearer cards and 2 Mechanicum cards. As soon as you remove 1 Chaos card here, for example Righteous Zealot, you will see my wallet will become Argentall. If I put the card back in, he will become Raum again. So, what's this deck about? Since we have to include 15 Chaos cards, we have to find some theme here. And Wordbearers go well with Infantry. They have sacrifice effects, they have stuff which buffs Infantry. So we take that, we throw in some good Chaos Infantry, put out some stuff which buffs them, which interacts with them, and voila, we have an aggro deck for Raum. It's not that hard, you can also build a budget version of this. So as mentioned, our whole goal here is to kill the enemy warlord as fast as possible. Raum will usually take care of early game units quite efficiently, and yeah, let's get over the cards. First of all, we have Borodal Squad. 1 energy troop, you don't see that much often, but they are great. They provide really good value for 1 energy. You usually don't want to play them on their own. You want to have some infantry on the board so that they buff them. That's the first effect. Second effect, if they die, we put in play a Cygnus Acolyte. A Cygnus Acolyte is a 1/1 Chaos Infantry, which if it dies, buffs a friendly demon or an infantry by giving them +1/+1. So it's 2 troops in 1 for 1 energy and a quite effective and useful rally ability. So really good here. I first was kind of skeptical about these guys because, well, it's a 1 energy troop with poor stats. Usually cards like these are a waste of deck space, but here they work perfectly fine. Next we have some more infantry synergy and infantry buffs. So the Secretary Axiarch, you will see him quite often probably in any infantry based build. He is a 2 energy to 2 with survival 1, meaning he needs 2 actions to be removed, making him really sticky so the warlord can attack into him, but he will stay on the board and he will have to do something else to get completely rid of him. And yeah, as mentioned, you will see him in any infantry deck. Really good here. Buffs up our weenies, hard to remove, great card. Righteous Zealot, our first Chaos Infantry, he's good here because, again, it's 2 troops in 1. So if he dies, you get a Wounded Zealot. That's a 1/1 infantry. Pretty basic, not much to explain here. Sacrifice him, buff him up, play him on curve. It's pretty straightforward because, yeah, you also have to play this deck pretty straightforward. You really don't want to think too much. You simply want to play on curve, put stuff on the board, trade efficiently if you need to, and then when the time has come, go face. Keep smacking him with Raum into the enemy's face, or kill off his troops and heal. So yeah, next of all, Cephalon Squad. Pretty self-explanatory here, but we don't aim to do any cool combos here. You can simply play him on curve, especially if you have Sorbak Pal in hand, because you will usually go first since you have high initiative. So play Cephalon. The enemy warlord will probably kill one guy, in worst case two, and then you play a Sorbak Pal, and you can just run all these guys into the enemy warlord's face, and they will spawn chaos spawns, which is a really good tempo play. They have maintenance, and Raum doesn't ignore it or something, but still you will get 3 frees for free. Other than that, you can play the Wounded Sealers to sacrifice it, but as mentioned, don't put too much thought in combos here. Just play something on curve. It's more important to have something on the board to pressure the enemy warlord. So yeah, after the next card, Undercover Cultists, I run 1 copy of those, simply because this card will have the problem that it can run out of steam if you draw all your early game cards. This helps a bit. It's duplicitous, so the enemy warlord can't smack it. He will need to kill it in some other way, and for 1 energy we can draw a cultist from our deck. We have a couple of those. We have Righteous Zealots, Horus Cultists, and yeah, that's it. So we have 4 guys. Usually we will have to, usually we'll use this ability like 1 or twice, so it's fine. If he draws you 1 or 2 cards, it will help a lot. Later on you can again sacrifice him or buff him up and run him into the enemy's face. Also Cultists, pretty basic troop, 2 energy to 3, and when this attacks the enemy warlord, you gain a Mark of Chaos to your hand. Not much to explain here. Try to attack into the enemy warlord with him. You won't have much issues doing that, since Raum usually trades off with those early game troops. So yeah, off to the next one. Sorbak Pal, our first legendary. When a friendly starter's infantry dies, you put in play a Chaos Spawn. So as mentioned, best use for him is early game. If you play something like Cephalon Squad, play him afterwards, suicide those guys, get Chaos Spawns. Great card here, since we have a lot of little infantry guys and guys who then and they die easily and spawn more guys which then die easily again. If he's not dealt with, he can get out of control, and he won me many games. Then Informant Network, our anti-stealth tech. 1 damage to all enemies. You'll see this card anywhere, not much to explain here. Also a Chaos card, so it helps us with achieving the Raum transformation. Aggro, he doesn't have any great synergies here. I just like him because he's stealthed. So you can buff him up easily. He's hard to remove. And in some cases it's also nice because you can heal your warlord for 1 energy. Might come in handy sometime. As mentioned, he doesn't have any great synergies here. He's just again a Chaos Infantry, and yeah, I like him here. You can replace him with something else of your choice. Jedimus Squad, our 4-drop. He's really good here because he spawns additional Horus Cultists, which we run anyway. So yeah, I hope that's self-explanatory. Aclean Wordsinger, 4 energy, 3/4. Another guy who buffs our infantry. He gives them +2 attack. If you have, I don't know, Cephalon in play and some Righteous Zealots, sometimes if you have like 2 or 3 troops on board and you play this guy, you sometimes can even threaten lethal. He is usually a prime target for your enemy. Really good card here because, as mentioned, we run so many Chaos Infantry guys. And for example, you play Aggro, you follow up a Wordsinger, and suddenly he is a 4/3 because the enemy didn't deal with him. You can attack with him into the enemy's face instead of healing your warlord. Much use here. Ashen Circle, 1 copy of those. It's pretty easy to trigger his rally effect here because, again, we will have a shit ton of weenies on our board. Kill off 7 health units or something smaller, but he can kill up to a 7 health target with his fast effect. Smack the enemy's face with him. Great card. Then Camille, our 101 word barrows removal, 4 damage to an enemy and then 2 damage to everything else on the enemy's side of the field. Great card. We'll see this in any word barrows deck. And then Curse is Sad, our 5-drop. You usually want to get the sacrifice off, but it also, I mean the sacrifice of the infantry, so that he gains survivor 2. This will make him slightly annoying. The enemy usually has to play around him a bit so he can't get his sacrifice off, because if he does, you get a greater demon, and that is usually devastating, because if it's like an area or a Slayer worlds, your enemy will have a really bad time. So usually he's the first target for your enemy of hard removals. They want to deal with him as soon as possible. If they don't, he can win you games by himself. Then Sirek, some bigger Chaos Infantry. He can get Melgatort. That's why I don't like him that much. Sometimes it's really annoying if that happens. But his backlash is great. His stats are fine. But mainly he's here because he's a Chaos Infantry and we kind of don't want to go full early game. And as mentioned, his backlash is great. He adds something into our hand. And I said before, we tend to run out of steam, so he helps with that, first of all. And second of all, the lesser demons can come out great. I'll just show them right here. So, Chaos and Demons. Demon. Here we go. So the lesser demons are Screamers, Terror Hounds, Battleflies, Beast of Fire, and 2 uncollectible ones. Oh no, I forgot the changes. Here they are as well. And the uncollectible ones are Seducers, which are really great. So if Sirek dies and you get these guys, so you get a 2 energy 5/4 fast effect. For our deck they are perfect. And Ravagers of Khorne. So, as mentioned, he replenishes our hand a bit. He's almost our late game troop because we run a pretty low curve. I think it's a great addition here. So next off we have Defense Satellites. I just wanted to pack some AoE in this deck besides Camille. It's a Chaos card, so it also serves to the purpose of transformation. It's not mandatory here, it's I just kind of included it. You can replace it with something else, another Chaos card you like. Malnor Veterans, you usually don't see these guys too often. They are 6 energy, 6/6, which is pretty good. And if they stick, they keep buffing up the infantry you play. So everything we have here will get 1/1 and frontline. If you follow them up with the Monster of Pythos, for example, it will become a 7/5 stealthed taunt, so the frontline doesn't count, but it's still a 7/5. A one-off, I really like them here. And then Monster of Pythos are a finisher infantry more or less, so they gain stealth until your next turn. Have only 4 health but a really high attack value, making them great attackers. Usually I aim for the enemy's face with them. Like follow up with Word Singers and Borodal Squads and Secretary Axiage. I got these guys to 11 attack once, so the turn after I played them. So they are great here. I think they are also kind of irreplaceable. Then we have Corrupted Archaeology. This is again not really vital. I just like this card when I saw it. It kind of provides some consistent value. It keeps spawning more Chaos Infantry for us, and I wanted to have at least some late game here. Sometimes the game drags on, even with Raum. It doesn't happen too often, but it happens. Yeah, as mentioned, it's not vital here or something. You can replace it with any other Chaos card you like. It's just a personal preference. It's a cool card. You get a free cost cultist for free. If it gets Melgatort, yeah, that's pretty bad, but whatever. I found it cool, so it's here. And last but not least, Architect of Heresy again. It's, I think, an auto inclusion in any Red Bros deck. It can win you games by themselves, by itself. If you take control of a bigger status, usually the enemy tends to concede. It happens too often. Offensive War, when they were popular, you have those Cadmus Tyros and Borobstantioks. If you get them with this card, usually the opponent just immediately quit. But still, there are some good targets for it, and even if not, bouncing something really big can save you the game sometime. So yeah. What other cards could you include in this deck? Fanatical Zeal. It's pretty good. It heals you for free. We don't have any defensive options here except aggro, but again, we don't really use him that much defensively. I didn't include it because usually we won't get the full effect. We have really many 2-drops here. Usually we will have a turn 1 play. It spawns a free infantry and it has some heals. Might be good in some situations, but we keep in mind that you have a limited amount of word-bearer cards you can include. You can include maximum 15 word-bearer cards. I have 13 in here. And Secretary Axar is kinda irreplaceable. So keep that in mind when placing Legion cards in here, as you need at least 15 Chaos cards to stay as Raum. Golem Squad. They're good because they spawn infantry on rally, but that's it. Their relentless ability isn't that great. They can kill off good infantry from us, but usually they will just die, and the double demon host on a 3-3 isn't that great. But still, the fact that they spawn infantry make them somewhat viable. Galax. I don't know. Sometimes these guys seem really cool to me, sometimes not. Again, there's the factor that we need to limit our word bearers amount here in this deck. They usually have to be face bashed to get rid of, and you also need to be careful with the placement, because if the enemy has something like a 1 attack or 2 attack trip on the board and you play them, it will just die and you sacrificed an infantry for nothing. If they are played on an empty board with the sacrifice of the infantry, they can get pretty annoying, so might be a good addition. Next up we have the Cephalon Squad. Again, it's in the 4 energy slot where we have Jedimus and Ekleon. It's kind of full here, but their ability is awesome. You get 2 energy troops for 1 energy. That is great. That makes them viable in this deck. Maybe you'll find a place for them. Possessed Marine, it's just a good troop. Maybe play them in a 6th slot in case you don't like Monster of Pythos or Malno Squad. But again, keep in mind that you need at least 15 Chaos cards in this deck. And also Sword Talgron. Yes, this is a 9-cost card, but I used to run him in this deck instead of Architect of Heresy when there was this whole Runestorm meta. So everyone played demons, and Architect of Heresy was in many matchups, so in like every second matchup it was basically useless because it doesn't work on demons. So I ran him instead, because sometimes the games drag on, and sometimes when you play him he replenishes your hand, and that is quite important in this deck because we tend to run out of steam sometime. So next to some neutral cards we have Evelyn. In case you don't like aggro or something, or you want some more cards to play on 3 energy, this would probably be the infantry of my choice, because we have Horus Cultists, and we can spawn additional Horus Cultists with a Jedimus squad. So there's a high chance that you get a couple of Marks of Chaos to your hand, and maybe can use them to that extent that you can transform something into a greater demon. So yeah, what bugs me a bit about them is that you need to have something on the board besides them to make them effective, and then you have to die while you have something on the board, but still they are Chaos Infantry, so maybe suitable for this deck. Same reason, Cygnus Adept. It's a bit like a bad Cephalon Squad, but if you need something in the 3-drop spot, maybe consider these guys. Usually it's just a 2-3-4-3, which is not that great. It will get face bashed and probably usually survives only a turn. And on the 4 energy turn you usually will have something else to play instead of using their ability. But still, not a bad inclusion. Unidentified Vessel. Some card draw. This might help in this deck to get ourselves some more troops. We have enough 1 and 2 cost troops to capitalize on that card. I didn't include it because I simply didn't know what to drop for it. but I think it's really good simply because it helps with the whole issue of this deck sometimes running out of steam, but I didn't have that lately, so I skipped on that one. Outraged Noble. He's just not in here because he's in the problematic 4 energy spot, but he's a chaos card, he's an infantry, and he has synergy with infantry. So for example, if you play him, we can follow up the reduced cost Monster of Pythos after. Really great card. If you can find a spot to him, I would include at least one of those. Then we have Medial, a demon. Since we have some Mark of Chaos stuff going on already with Horus Cultists and more Horus Cultists from Cephalon Squad, and also it is easy to suicide our infantry, he might be pretty good. He also has okay stats. You can, for example, run him instead of Melnor Veterans if you don't like him that much. Solid Edition, Chaos card, why not? Then we have Barge of the Damned. You can play that instead of Corrupted Ecology as a personal preference in case you say this card is trash and midnight you're an idiot, why you play Corrupted Ecology. The problem with this card is that it's random. You need to build a bit around this card, so if you play it, I wouldn't include Righteous Zealots. You should go a bit more top heavy with the Chaos Infantry. And also you need to wait till some valuable troop style like Monster of Pythos, for example, for it to be really good. Otherwise you would just spawn a couple of Horus Cultists or something, which is not that great for 7 energy. And at last, Iria the Seducer. You can put it in as a late game troop. She's pretty good because we're face bashing a lot, and she just shuts down certain warlords. I like this card. Didn't include it because I didn't like the maintenance and the high cost, but still an okay addition here. You can, for example, run it instead of a Corrupted Ecology. So yeah, that's the deck, and some other cards you could consider for this deck. I would say, as always, let's get into some high ladder gameplay. We're currently on rank 42, not bad. So, let's go. Arrowman. That's pretty bad because we can't attack his troops if we give him recognition, but that starting hand is pretty neat. Let's keep that. So we start off with Accessicles. So next time we can buff up the infantry they spawn. Some people do the mistake that they kill this guy instead of these guys, and forget that actually more dangerous stuff is the infantry in decks like these. Yeah, this guy doesn't. Smart. But nonetheless, we have more of those. We have a full board. And let's just run everything into him. Didn't pre-commit it, okay. Huh? Why this? Why not me? I'm confused. Why did you use the counter-attack on it? Whatever. Fine by me. So as you see, running out of steam, but we got over half of his HP already. So if we top deck nicely, we can probably finish him off soon. Okay. So what do we have here? Architect of Heresy. Pretty bad. He doesn't have any infantry, so don't really care about this. I'm just going to go for his face. So, if he doesn't use recognition on himself, he's dead. because apparently he didn't have it. GG, 2 minutes. Another Airyman. Gonna replace Brodel here as well, because I am more desperate for a turn 1 play. Didn't draw it.
Knowledge is power.
Excessor goals. Good top deck. I'm gonna leave them be, because I usually only want to attack them when I can buff them up or something. So I just keep this guy until I can Secretary Axiash him. Can you this time make it good? This time he made the correct counterattack. I think that's the same guy. So we use Secretary Axiash here to get rid of his Jubek and pass the turn. I need to keep in mind that he might have Astral Warfare next turn, so I don't really want to go too wide. That's fine. Sorbak Pal. If I Sorbak Pal, I get one guy. I'll just play Jedimus, kill Melgator, heal for 2, and you go for his face. Damn. That sucks. Jubek doing work for this guy. Here it is, I guess. Monster. And smack his face. Okay, I see. I can't kill it. Let's just play everything we have here. Not putting that much thought behind it right now. If he has Astral Warfare, then so be it. Otherwise, if he trades into that, we get a Chaos spawn. He's hesitating, so probably no Astral Warfare. Okay. Ah yeah. Capture Cabal. I think I'm just gonna clear his board. Next turn. So what's he thinking about? Play something with 5 health, please. Thank you. Dude, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Architect of Heresy is cool, but not what I need right now. Yeah, that was really lucky that you played Pentadust. You die. I go face. Buffs up the Axiash, and the Axiash gives him a nice smack. 2-0. Ooh, what's her name? Sisters of Silence Primarch. That's great. I'll keep that. Not Primarch, the legendary Sisters of Silence Warlord. Roll, right.
Only in silence one can
So
hear
let's
the
hope she
truth.
doesn't play a troop. So we can Sobak Pal after. Okay. Okay, play Sobak Pal, suicide hit, and keep going for the face. Next turn I can aggro Trash, since I will have maintenance 1. That's fine. Damn. Really strong. So aggro Trash and Borodals. Smack the face. Want to attack this one because I want him to attack with this into that. Oh boy. Holy crap, dude. And I have nothing to play in curve. Well, this sucks. I'm gonna heal myself. And pop the Axiarch. Oh, crap. Yeah, the curve fucks me up here quite a bit. Okay. Melnor's gonna trade here. Can't go face. Because I'm simply too low. Okay, she goes face though. Might still win. Isis. Skip. So she needs 3 damage from hand. Okay. 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 Singer. Ashen Circle. Oh, pretty bad curve. But we still did it, boys. Holy crap. Okay, that's... I don't remember the names. That's good. Gonna keep that. Going first also helps, since she has only 1 attack. Send him again, Amanda.
In the war to end all wars.
Amandara Kendall. I could play the Zealot and blow it up Sobak Pal, but I got a really nice curve here, so don't want to mess it up with Chaos Spawns. Okay. Place a special card. Great, I can Sobak Pal. Anyway. Taint of Chaos. And a demon. Okay. She doesn't want to kill it, okay. Let's play the Zealot, give him a Mark of Chaos, perfect. And kill the troop. Skip the turn. Okay. It's poisoned. Oh, that's good. So you go here, buff this up, and go for the face. Like Sisters of Silence have a lot of those weenie clear cards. A lot of 1 damage to something, 2 damage to something. Flank, okay. It's fine. So we just keep on going. You go here. Get a Taint of Chaos. Buff this up. Smack it, play aggro dress. I think she's the worst of the 3 warlords. Simply because of her special, to be honest. She has a dead turn 1 to become a 2 attack warlord, and if she goes second like now, it's just bad. And we are winning, by the way. Well, GG. Yeah, let's make a cut here. I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games now. I had 3 times the same Ahriman, 1 Estalon, but that game was not interesting at all, to be honest. Lost to an Aemon, really bad. Then 3 Sisters of Silence. So yeah, you will see the recordings from 4 games, and yeah, I'll just stop now. I know it's a bit boring, like we have only 2 different legions in this video against those, but I don't know, I had 8 games now, and the Defenders of Caliban is just not worth including. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the games. I hope you like the deck and we'll try it out. If you want to see more deck guides and some event play, feel free to subscribe. I already got 1 event run going on. I already did one with 12 wins. Finishing this one tomorrow. And then I'm also recording a draft video, how we draft for the Sisters of Silence and then play some event. Hope you tune in there too. World Cup coming soon. We'll probably stream or record those games as well. So yeah. Until then, I'll say midnight out.